Today on Time About the Movies, Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill try to put together the best baseball team in the world with only the smallest amount of money possible, but a system that they try to use to work in their favor. And that film is, of course, Moneyball. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the inspiring family adventure, Dolphin Tale. We'll also take a look at Taylor Lautner working with John Singleton on the action thriller Abduction. Jason Statham, Clive Owen, and Robert De Niro in the action-adventure Killer Elite. And Gerard Butler is the Machine Gun Preacher. September 23rd, 2011. That's coming your way next on Time About the Movies.
Money. We're a small market team. Fine players are the money that we do have.
There's a championship team that we could afford because everyone else undervalues them, like an island of misfit toys.
We're going to shake things up. You don't put a team together with a computer.
Billy Bean has tried to reinvent a system that's been working for years.
I say it's just getting started.
What is happening in Oakland? It defies everything we know about baseball.
A system that's so damn good, they went on to win no championships. Not even kidding, they literally won no championships through this entire process. But that doesn't mean the movie itself has to suffer either. Welcome to Time About the Movies, though. Today we are taking a look at the 5 films of September 23rd, 2011. And we start off with the biggest of the new releases, and that is, of course, Moneyball. Based off the best-selling book by Michael Lewis and on the true story of Billy Bean, played by Brad Pitt, general manager of the Oakland Athletics, in an attempt to create a competitive team despite Oakland's unfavorable financial situation with an innovative player recruitment strategy using sophisticated statistical analytics and analysis of their performances. You have a cast that also includes the aforementioned Jonah Hill, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Robin Wright, Chris Pratt, written by Aaron Sorkin and Steve Zissou, directed by Bennett Miller. Just a really, really good assortment of talent here. And just all across the board, you have a lot of good people involved in here. And, you know, not every movie with all-star talent on both acting and the creative sides has been good. We've talked about several of them on this show. One of the most notable examples of the past includes stuff like Scenes from a Mall with Bette Midler and Woody Allen, directed by Paul Mazursky. Valentine's Day. How many big celebrities were in that movie? So the big question is, how does Moneyball fare up? Really well. It really is up there with The Social Network as one of the best movies that I saw. Kind of like The Social Network, I should say, because Social Network came out the year before, but it really was one of the best movies I saw that in 2011. I thought Brad Pitt was very good as Billy Bean. I kept seeing Pitt in the same way that I saw George Clooney in Up in the Air. Like, I saw Clooney playing George Clooney in that movie, and in Moneyball, it's basically Brad Pitt playing Brad Pitt. I mean, I like Pitt overall. I just don't think he really distanced himself enough to play somebody unique and different in this film. But I did think his performance overall was really good. Jonah Hill, you know, this is one of his first movies where he steps out of his usual comedy territory and does a serious role. I think this was actually the first one he ever did, honestly. I think there's another one, maybe, but I think this was indeed the first one. But like, it's really good. I like it when comedic actors step out of their usual shtick and do more dramatic stuff like Will Ferrell or Jim Carrey, or we're going to see Seth Rogen doing it next week with 30-30, with 50-50, but Hill I thought was very good in the movie, and I actually had read that Demetri Martin was going to play that role before Jonah Hill stepped in because Martin passed up on it. I like Demetri Martin, but I don't think he would have played that role very well. I thought Jonah Hill overall was really good in that role. Philip Seymour Hoffman is in here, but only for, like, the little tiniest bits in this movie. Kind of like in Charlie Wilson's War, except in that movie, he leaves a lasting impact. And here, he's good, but he's not really given a whole lot to do. The best performance overall in the movie to me was Chris Pratt, who at the time was known simply as Andy Dwyer from Parks and Recreation, who plays the first baseman in here. And I thought he really did the best acting job in this movie overall. I kind of felt the same way I did with him, with Rashida Jones in the previous year's The Social Network. I thought they both were very good, given these very strong performances overall that should have been Oscar considering performances. But it's a shame that they didn't get the recognition they deserve, because they were really good. And coincidentally, yeah, it's Rashida Jones and Chris Pratt who played a couple in Parks and Recreation, so it's all coming full circle. What the hell am I doing with my hands? I don't know, but bottom line, the performances are really good. I mean, the dialogue is really good. It's Aaron Sorkin and Steven Zazilian doing everything that you can to make a great film, and great writing overall. It's them doing the best of what they do best. Bennett Miller does a very good job directing the film. The only flaws I had with the movie overall was in the last game they showed. They make a big deal about the Oakland A's winning their 20th game in a row and breaking a record, but the next game, which is the championship game, just gotta push it off to the side like it's nothing. I mean, we spent 30 seconds when we spent 15 minutes on that previous game, and it's just kind of like, what's the point of that? It's just like, it really didn't feel like the connection worked there. It's just like, yeah. But then again, it's mostly nitpicky things here, but this really was one of the year's best movies. A really strong film with a great cast, great writing, great direction. The dialogue was great. Moves at a nice pace so you can keep up with it easily. It just works. It is this year's Social Network. It's not quite up there with stuff like Midnight in Paris or Rango or some of the best movies of the year, but it's another really good movie from a year that started off really rough, but definitely the second half of the year, it's definitely gotten a lot better. This is definitely one of the prime examples of a movie that really does work very well to its advantages. So that is Moneyball, so let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, and that is Dolphin Tale.
In 2005, an injured dolphin was rescued off the coast of Florida. Her chance of survival, 1 in a million. Her amazing true story inspired the movie critics are calling wonderful, entertaining, and unforgettable.
If the fish doesn't like it, I'm putting a tail on and swimming with it myself.
4 stars, so inspiring you'll stand up and cheer. Dolphin Tale is a must-see for everyone.
I think she's getting the hang of it.
Dolphin Tale, rated PG, now playing in 3D and 2D.
Of course, it's got to be in 3D, because that's the trend right now, and there's really no reason for this to be in 3D, honestly. But, yeah, this is an inspiring story that's going to work so well in one movie that we're going to say, fuck it, we're going to make another movie when Warner Brothers essentially sees the box office numbers here. Because this was a massive hit. It brought in nearly 3 times its original budget, almost close to $100 million, but I mean, it is what you get here with a story like this. You have a story about Winter, a bottlenose dolphin that was rescued in December 2005 off the Florida coast and taken in by the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. And then this Winter loses her tail after being entangled with a rope attached to a crab trap and must be fitted with a prosthetic one in order to swim naturally again. So it's basically got the Toothless scenario where, he has to go, where, they have to go in and, give him a prosthetic thing so that he can fly up in the air. It's pretty much that with this dolphin. Not quite as memorable as that, but I've seen worse. And for the target audience, it does deliver on what it promises. It does give you some nice situations with the kid and this dolphin, the relationship between the two of them. Harry Connick Jr., Ashley Judd, Chris Christopherson, Morgan Freeman, they're in the cast here. This is directed by Charles Martin Smith, who I feel like we've covered a couple of his movies before. Actually, maybe only one, Air Bud, which I didn't really care for that all that much. I know it has a big fan base, but I was never a fan of that movie. I thought we covered some more of them, but no, I don't think we have. I mean, he has directed other movies, like Boris and Natasha the movie, and then he did the sequel, Dolphin Tale 2, and A Dog's Way Home, and A Gift from Bob, which is stuff we're going to get to later on down the road. But this might be the first time we actually have seen something from him since Air Bud that we've actually covered on the show, and for what it is, like I said, it's harmless. I mean, it's a movie that delivers on what it promises. And, yeah, it's trying to go on the fact that, for the studio and producer that brought you The Blind Side. It's just like, okay, so there's really not much of a difference between The Blind Side and this movie. But, I mean, honestly, I've seen much better versions of the story done in truncated times. Like, around this time, we had an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa had to save a whale that was parched onto the beach, and, she tries her best to save it, and there's even a moment where you think it's gonna be saved, and then, like, it doesn't have a happy ending for it because the whale does die, and, like, I mean, that in that half hour, they did much more in that than this movie does in general, and, I mean, that's my personal take on that, but as far as this film goes, like I said, it's a harmless movie. It delivers what it promises for the kids. It's fun. It's got a cute dolphin. What more can you ask for? So, with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our next movie. And, oh boy, this one is a laugher and a disappointment, too, specifically for the director of this movie. But we'll talk about that after I show you a little bit of the amazing acting job from action star Taylor Lautner in Abduction.
Nathan Price is a high-valued asset.
He escaped an attack last night. We've got 36 hours to find this kid before they do.
Suddenly, everyone around me is dying.
We've got to get out of here, Nathan.
Who are you?
I'm a friend of your father's. Your real father.
I want the video feeds from every security camera. Track his friends.
What's my real name? What's my real name?
Track anyone they've ever spoken to.
Who are these people?
They can't be trusted.
Listen to me, Nathan.
We're going to find you. Not if I find you first.
Okay, seriously, that was a good rehearsal take there, Taylor. But you want to try that again and actually emote? Oh wait, you're not gonna emote. That was literally the trailer, and that's the line that Lionsgate said. Perfect. We're gonna sell it on that. My God, this movie is awful. Taylor Lautner plays a young man who sets out to uncover the truth about his life after finding his child photo on a missing person's website. This movie has a cast that also includes Lily Collins, Alfred Molina, Jason Isaacs, Maria Bello, and Sigourney Weaver. But the biggest thing about this movie is that this is directed by John Singleton. And it's incredible how, in the 20 years between this movie and Boys in the Hood, this guy has fell into his... This guy ends his illustrious career with his worst movie as a director. I mean, this is the guy that gave us Boys in the Hood. This is the guy that gave us Poetic Justice, Higher Learning, Rosewood, Shaft, Baby Boy, Four Brothers. Too Fast, Too Furious was his worst film up until this film. And it doesn't help when you have a movie like this that literally feels like a movie that should be sitting in a Walmart made-for-DVD bin in the new, like you go to the new releases and you see these movies that you never even heard of. That's where this movie should have been at. But no, because it's got Taylor Lautner from Twilight, and Twilight's the hot shit, we gotta put this on the big screen. And yeah, that image of him just on his phone with the Pittsburgh Pirates shirt is a perfect sum up of everything that makes this movie so awful. It's just like an awful actor with an awful baseball team, and they were awful back in the 2010s. I don't care if they had that brief playoff run in the 2010s. The Pirates have never been that good of a baseball team. It's just like they just have not. I mean, as of the time of recording this, I'm going tomorrow to see a really good baseball team in the Savannah Bananas play there. And I'm telling you, they're going to be a whole lot better than the Pittsburgh Pirates ever were. I'm guaranteeing you that, But other than that, though, back to this movie, it's just not a good movie. It's a lame film, and it's because Taylor Lautner is just not the right choice for this role. At least with Robert Pattinson, in the bad movies that he's been in, you can at least tell that he's at least trying to hold it together. Kristen Stewart has proven time and time again how good of an actor she can be. But Taylor Lautner, he regressed badly as soon as he became Jacob in Twilight. He had a promising career with the Robert Rodriguez movies, and then after that, nope. Now you've gone back down to you've gone to this low point, and it's going to get worse for him at this point. I mean, if this is the highlight of your post-Twilight career, you've really, really had a bad stretch of movies in general, and just a bad stretch of luck in general. This movie sucks. This is a terrible movie, and it's just... I'm more disappointed for John Singleton to end his illustrious career with this movie, because he passed away in 2019. He did at least give us a good show in Snowfall on FX, but this... No, this is bad. This is really, really bad, so, yeah. Avoid Abduction like the plague. With that said, on to the next movie, and that is Jason Statham, Clive Owen, and Robert De Niro in Killer Elite.
They killed Craig and Harry.
Who's the devil? Hello? I knew I'd find him. He's like a father to me. You don't do this, it's not that much.
Mary's gonna come back for me. It's your worst nightmare.
I have no idea how deep this goes.
You think this is over? Killer Elite.
Did I cover my expenses?
Rated R, September 23rd.
A couple things about this movie that I did not realize until later on. I did not know Clive Owen and Robert De Niro were in this movie, surprisingly, and lo and behold, they are. But this is also the beginning of a new company that's coming up, Open Road Films. This was a production company by AMC Theaters, and started off with this film in general. But they actually have made some decent films. The Gray was pretty good, End of Watch was probably one of the best movies that came out in 2012. They also did Side Effects, the Steven Soderbergh movie. They had one of the 2 Steve Jobs movies that came out around this time. They gave out some Machete Kill, Homefront. They have given us some bad movies, though, like the Nut Job movies. They've also done the Haunted House movies. But most of their movies, there have been more good stuff from open road films than bad stuff. And this one is not really good, but not really bad either. Just kind of generic. Like, if this was the 1980s and 90s, this would have been something you would have seen on TBS's late night movie of the week or something like that. But yeah, this is that type of a movie in general. So loosely based on a true story, Killer Elite pits 2 of the world's most elite operatives, Danny, played by Jason Statham, and Hunter, played by Robert De Niro, against the cunning leader of a secret society of former Special Air Service operatives, played by Clive Owen. Covering the globe from Australia to Paris, London, and the Middle East, Danny and Hunter are plunged into a highly dangerous game of revenge and deception, where things are not always what they appear to be. But if you've seen movies like this, you can look at this and go like, yeah, I've seen this type of a film before, and yeah, there's really nothing that different compared to other movies, except the fact that, oh, it's a new studio putting it out. A movie like this should not have a $70 million budget on this, which this did, and probably not the best start for the studio, as it made only $56 million back worldwide, so yeah. Needless to say, this was not a big hit in general, but got a decent cast in here. Jason Statham, Owen, Yvonne Strahovski from Chuck, Robert De Niro, Dominic Purcell, Adwale Akinmu Agbaji, Ben Mendelsohn. So there is some talent in here, and the film itself is meh, I guess. I mean, I can't even say it's okay. It's just kind of like, it's there, and it's, like I said, it's the type of movie that you wait for on USA's Movie of the Week, or Action Movie of the Night, or TBS's Late Night Movie, one of those things. Like, if you don't know what it is going into it, then you probably are going to hate it right from the get-go. But as it is exactly what you think it is. And it's passable, I guess. It's not the worst thing ever, but it's something that you watch it once and you're just like, nah, I'm never going to want to watch this again. And that's how I kind of felt about it back then. So, yeah, I have no real intention of never watching this again. So, not much more to say about that one. That is Killer Elite. So let's go ahead and move on to our last movie that we have here, and that is Gerard Butler in Machine Gun Preacher.
About Machine Gun Preacher, it's an inspirational true story, an emotional powerhouse. Gerard Butler has never been better in the most powerful movie of the year. Heartbreaking and inspiring, it's superb. Machine Gun Preacher in cinemas November 2nd.
Oh my god, Sean Edwards likes a movie. Run for your lives, people! There's no hope, you remember. Yeah, sorry about that, but once you see Sean Edwards praising a movie, it basically is the equivalent of saying, abandon all hope, ye who enter here, because that guy does not know a good movie pretty much is a good movie from a bad one, because, yeah, he puts his reviews on some of the worst movies ever. This is the guy that has been notoriously known that once you see his name on on one of those critical faces thing, unless you know what the movie, unless the movie actually looks pretty good, you know it's not going to be good at all. But I mean, as far as this one goes, it's, again, kind of like with Killer Elite, just passable. It tells the story of Sam Childers, played by Gerard Butler, a former gang biker turned preacher, in his efforts to protect, in collaboration with the Sudan People's Liberation Army, the children of South Sudan from the atrocities of Joseph Kony's Lord Resistance Army. Yeah, so if you don't remember, around this time, Joseph Kony suddenly became a big thing that everybody was kind of getting into. So much so that the Nostalgia Critic made a funny video talking about how nobody really knew how to look at Joseph Kony as a whole.
Watch Kony 2012. Alright.
Joseph Kony is the worst person in the world. He turns Ugandan kids into soldiers and kills them if they don't comply. All we have to do is make sure that his name is well known, and we can stop this horrible madman forever.
Holy shit, that's terrible! Asshole! You're an asshole, Kony! Oh my god, I'm telling everybody I know about this. Oh, you know what? I better send some money. Yeah, better send lots of money. Let's see. PayPal, Kony 2012, shitload of money. There! Yes! I'm a good human being! Woo! I'll get another video about Kony.
Kony 2012 is a fraud. They give only 38% of donations to Uganda. The rest goes to marketing, paying salaries, and raising awareness.
Fuck you, Kony 2012! I didn't know the money I was giving to a charity to raise awareness was going to raise awareness! I'm going to a better cause, like... What's a better cause?
Pink ribbon.
Pink ribbon! That's right, I'll find the biggest pink ribbon charity out there! Susan G. Komen, you got it! Shitload of money, PayPal, there it goes! I'm an American! Ooh, a video about Susan G. Komen.
Susan G. Komen gives only 29% of donations to breast cancer research.
Son of a bitch! I'm going back to Coney! What's this video?
Coney has died.
Hooray, we got him!
5 years ago.
What?
I'm from Uganda and I have no political or military connections at all, but I'm from Uganda and I heard Coney's dead.
Why am I searching for a dead guy?
It's a fraud. Coney's alive. It's a fraud. Coney's dead. He's alive.
He's dead.
He's alive.
He's dead. He's making his living being a monkey-eating transvestite. And he's dead.
Tell me what to think, Internet! I can't form my own ideas!
They don't really want to get Coney. The search is just a front to get more oil.
Oil! I knew oil was behind this! It's behind everything! Oil is the root of all evil! Oh, that reminds me, I gotta change the oil in the car. Oh, what's this one?
Coney is an alien.
Really?
He came from the planet Block and wants to consume all the world's Happy Meals.
Is there a place I can give money for that?
To all you conservatives out there, Coney is gay. To all you liberals out there, Coney wants you to go to church. Coney is Hitler. Coney's a pizza place. Coney is that little Laotian girl from King of the Hill. Coney is the absolute worst thing in the world and will continue to get worse unless you do something about it.
What can I do?
Nothing. Everything. Spread the word. Be silent. Send money. Don't send money. Stand on your head and start singing I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy. Whatever you're doing, it's not enough. So, what do you think about Coney 2012?
I just want my porn!
Yeah, so that was a thing back then that we were all looking at on the internet, but yeah, as far as this film goes, like I said, it's passable. The acting overall is okay. You got Gerard Butler doing a pretty decent job in here. Michelle Monaghan, Michael Shannon. This is written by directed by Mark Forster, who gave us Quantum of Solace, but he also did Stranger Than Fiction, which is easily his best overall film. And then you also have Jason Keller, who would later go on to write some interesting, good things. Escape Plan was a fun movie. Ford v Ferrari was great. But he also did Mirror Mirror, which, yeah, that movie's not that great. But this film, it's just kind of meh. I mean, like I said, it's nothing that amazing. It's a movie that wants to be so uplifting and so an Oscar contender overall. It's trying to be the Cry Freedom or the Catch a Fire of its day, and it's just not there with this movie. It's a movie that's trying, but not trying hard enough for me to say it's worth checking out. But no, I wouldn't say that. It's just a movie that's just kind of like, kind of like Killer Elite. Not good, not bad, just meh. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. And the next time we meet, we'll wrap September up with 6 movies to take a look at, including another weekend with an unexpected hit in Courageous from the same people that gave us the unexpected hit Fireproof. The aforementioned 50-50 with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen among its cast. Seth Green, good lord. Daniel Craig trying to follow up his success with the James Bond movies. Cowboys and Aliens wasn't the big hit, but he'll try again with Dreamhouse. Surely that won't be bad. Or maybe it will, but he's not the only one that's coming off of a blockbuster. Chris Evans, coming off of Captain America, starring with Anna Faris in the romantic comedy What's Your Number? We also have Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, a really fun, over-the-top horror comedy, and also Take Shelter. So 6 films to take a look at. We'll take a look at them all in the next episode, so be on the lookout for that. With all that said, though, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist, and also check out the last episode we did. So with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.